Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hey, Dave Frank from Cleveland. Couple quick things about the draft. Can you explain to me why the Browns would even roll the dice on Shedeur Sanders at 2 and then possibly pass up 2 generational players, Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter? If they do that, take Sanders at 2, I'm going to be questioning Jimmy Haslam again. That's it for today, David. Thank you, brother. Be good, be safe, you and the family, and I'll be in touch.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Tom, we kind of alluded to it before the break. The only way you take a quarterback at number 2, are you convinced he can be, a top 10 quarterback in the NFL for 8-10 years?
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to find out, right? That's the due diligence. That's why they'll be at his pro day on Friday. You heard Kevin Stefanski at the owners' meetings talking about Shedeur Sanders and how impressed he's been with him, and how this is a kid that has been, raised in the game and knows ball and loves ball. And, you've seen him turn around 2 programs in Jackson State and in Colorado and make them more than competitive. And it was nice that he had Travis Hunter alongside. And wouldn't that be a nice package if the Browns could end up getting both of those guys? But that's a little bit far-fetched. But yeah, I've been impressed with the kid, Dave. I watched enough of Colorado last year to know that he's a quarterback that throws on time. He's able to play the pro style game, obviously, which is, the college game these days, right? Dual threat, can run the ball, doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. That doesn't really scare me, though, because he seems to be very accurate, has kind of that clutch gene, just like Cam Ward does. Nothing seems too big for him. I think he would present himself well. I don't think he would buckle under any of the pressure. I mean, this is primetime son, right? I mean, he's been raised in the spotlight since he was a little boy, and I don't see any reason why, he can't be the guy. So, as I said to you before, they've been doing all of their groundwork on this kid. They're going to meet with him again, in Colorado, I'm sure. They've spent some time with him. They've had dinner with him. They know who he is already. I think they probably feel comfortable about who he is and what he represents right now. And it's just a matter of whether or not that's the best fit for them going forward.
Yeah, I saw enough Colorado to know 2 things. Their offensive line wasn't good and they had no running game, which means that means a lot fell on his shoulders.
And he still succeeded, right? And
Yeah.
I was lucky enough, and Scott Petrak, who I know you've had on here before, we both talked to Pat Shurmur, who was the offensive coordinator at Colorado, former Browns head coach. And it's very difficult to impress Pat Shurmur. Let me tell you, as somebody who has been on, the bad side of Pat Shurmur at times with some questions and with some situations. And Pat's a straight shooter. And Pat told both Scott and I that this is a kid that the Browns would love to have. And when I get that kind of a stamp of approval from a coach who I know and I trust, then I think the Browns have to feel the same way.